the different techniques that we were using today to actually paddle out and get through the waves, one of them was the kind of sit back on your board and pop over the top of the wave. And it's really important that you're really careful about the tail of your surfboard, because if there's not enough water out there, you can have a tendency to pop the tail down or even your fin, and you can get that caught.
And the other technique we use is just your basic push-up. That works as long as there's only about this much white water.
Right.
as much distance as you can create from your chest down to the rail of the board. That's when that technique works great. And then the final solution is, I turn turtle.
Yeah, the turtle that's kind
It's
of your
our friend.
last resort.
The wave's too big. I just grab a hold of the nose of the board,
flip it over,
roll onto your back, and hang on for dear life.
That's right.
The shortboard guys and girls, they just duck dive. I have enough weight to sink a 6-foot board right underneath the water and then just come up with it.
Awesome.
But I can't do that with a 10-foot surfboard.
Right.
So we turn turtle, we do the push-up, we get our tails kicked every now and then.
This is how I pop up when I'm actually out in the water and I'm surfing. I like to really paddle and stroke and feel that the wave's picking me up and taking me. And as soon as I do that, I want to put my hands on the side of the rail, straight down from my shoulders. And in one motion, I'm going to be going from my knees to my feet and trying to pop up in one single motion. So I'm paddling, my hands are on the rail. I'm going to pop up with my feet apart. My knees are going to be bent, and I want to keep my knees bent and my feet at least shoulder width apart so that I can keep my balance. If I'm going to stand straight up, I'm going to have a tendency to teeter back and forth, and that's going to provoke me to fall over.
When I try to absorb the bumps and the waves, it's all being done with the legs. The legs are your shock absorbers. I try to keep my chest and head up right over the center line of the board. That's my balance point. I find that your balance is better if you're not bending at the waist.
Exactly.
I see a lot of people bending over at the waist, and then as soon as there's a little bump, their head and shoulders fall right in the ocean. When I was out there surfing earlier, you could probably see the first wipeout that I had was I actually was trying to do a little head dip. And so, of course, I did exactly what you're not supposed to do, bent over at the waist, stuck my head in the wave, and just got yanked right off. So there is a perfect example of that on tape somewhere, I'm sure. It's just what I want in the DVD, is shots of me wiping out. I think as soon as you can get a child comfortable with the ocean, learning to respect it, running back and forth with waves, chasing them, as long as it's safe, letting them play and frolic in the surf and get knocked down, with mom and dad there, I think that's great. That's, how you get comfortable. That's how I did. So I don't think you can really start too early, but I think it's important to respect what your kids are telling you. If they are scared, they're scared.
My mom had us in swimming lessons when we were 9 months old. I mean, it's all about, your comfort level with just your swimming ability and being able to be in the water. And kids are going to be encouraged to get out there with their friends anyway. So, just give them a little bit of time, and I'm sure they'll be ready and willing when they're able to do it.
And a lot of times, parents aren't the right people to teach their kids how to surf. Just like boyfriends aren't necessarily good at teaching girlfriends and husbands and wives, sometimes it's better to have a third party. And there are some fantastic surf schools out there. So, look them up, ask a bunch of people, get a recommendation, and really spend the time and get those fundamentals right with a good instructor. And I think people can really enjoy surfing. I've got a theory about predators, about sharks. If you see a dorsal fin, 99% of the time, it's a dolphin. And if by any chance it is a shark, it's not hunting you. A shark is an apex predator. If it wants you, it's going to come up from underneath and eat you.
It will get you.
Yeah, so you're not going to see a shark, so don't worry about it. On a sandy beach like this, there is really only one danger as you're heading out, and that's stingrays. And you always forget to talk about it when the water's warm. Stingrays live there. And it's not an aggressive creature at all, but if you step on it, its tail will come up and just zap you hard. So you're supposed to shuffle your feet.
Correct.
Always forget about it until see somebody down the beach going, ah! Like today, like our water cameraman got zapped, and you're like, should have said something.
The worst encounter I've ever had was when I was down in Puerto Escondido, and I had a stingray hit me in the foot, the same thing that we had happen earlier today, and I was convinced a shark had my foot. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. So much pain. It hit me in a nerve right in my foot, and again, shuffling is the best policy when you're at a sandy bottom beach. Just do it. I mean,
shuffle your feet.
Even if you look silly, even if your friends are making fun of you, shuffle your way until you get on